Hi, this is Dr. Serge. So I came across this really interesting article, and we can see the title here. So I'm not gonna say it. That's not the point. But what the authors of the study wanted to ask as a question is if there's a connection between Alzheimer's disease and type 2 diabetes. As a matter of fact, we've been suspecting that there's a connection, but now they go a little bit deeper and they use 10 people without diabetes and they feed them sugar and see what happens to the brain. So it's really interesting. This is one of the such studies that I've seen doing this type of experiment. So we suspect that Alzheimer's disease and diabetes is a connection there. As a matter of fact, some people now in our field claim that Alzheimer's disease actually is type 3 diabetes. So if you go a little bit deeper into this study, so like we can see here, so in the background of the study, the small summary. So they take 10 people, and they look at what we call amyloid beta peptide, A beta. So this is a marker, and we have 140 and 142. So these are markers of Alzheimer's disease. So we believe that with time, those peptides accumulate into the brain, leading to amyloid plaques, and those plaques are known to cause Alzheimer's disease. So what they did is they look at people with and without diabetes, like I said, and they feed them sugar. If they look at the amount of these peptides in the brain, so they found that normal people who don't have any sugar issues, so they eat sugar, and the brain is able to clear those peptides, is able to get rid of those peptides. But if you have type 2 diabetes, so the clearance of these two peptides are much less or minimal at all. So meaning that sugar diabetes can be a major factor leading to Alzheimer's disease. So that confirms this hypothesis that there's a direct connection. Like I said, some doctors now call Alzheimer's disease type 3 diabetes because there's a direct connection between the two. You may not know this, but the pancreas is the main organ of the insulin producing organ in the body, but the brain is the second organ that makes the most insulin. So if you have an insulin resistance going on into the brain, you could have a type 2 diabetes of the brain, which we call type 3 or Alzheimer's disease. So the brain cells die prematurely, the antioxidant level goes down, there's more free radicals, there's more of those peptides in the brain. So sugar seems to be the main driver of Alzheimer's disease. So knowing that, we can reverse Alzheimer's disease. As a matter of fact, there's some clinical evidence, and I have seen that myself. So for early stages of AD, Alzheimer's disease, we can see that we can see a complete reversal of the condition. Of course, if it's a later stage, 5, 6, 7, that could be too late, but still it can be improved. Like we can help the body to clear those peptides. So a high-fat diet, like at least in the 89% of the diet, like keto-ish diet, would help a lot, or helps a lot, people with AD. And I have seen complete reversal of AD, or even any brain-related issue like anxiety, depression, brain fog, and so on and so on. So high-fat diet, which leads to ketone production in the body, in the bloodstream, which is the best fuel for the brain. People don't realize that sugar is not the best fuel. As a matter of fact, up to 75% of the fuel of the brain is fat base, which is ketones, and 25% has to be sugar or glucose. So the main fuel for the brain is really fat. It's not sugar. So a high-fat diet helps the brain to work at the best, and it helps to reverse these different conditions. So if you know people with Alzheimer's disease, if you are at risk of Alzheimer's disease from your genetic background, look into a high-fat keto type of diet or carnivore diet. So if you guys have any experience or any testimonies of people who have been able to reverse Alzheimer's disease, let me know below so we can learn from you guys, from your experience. Of course, there's more than just diet. There's chemical issues, there's gut issues, and so on. But the diet is really the main factor when it comes to aging. God bless.